Anyway, let's jump over to this. I wanted to go through this quick, and then I got some a bunch of drug stuff to get into the rest of the show. But this here, this isn't. This is new. Came out yesterday, I think. The Fraser Institute press release: Albertans contributed $53.6 billion more to the Canadian pension plan than retirees in Alberta received from it between 1981 and 2022. So basically, the last 30 years. Albertans net
40 years. 40 years. So that's over a
40.
billion, 1.2 billion a year, probably, right?
Basically a
1,000
third of the
million a year.
Confederation. Basically a third of the Confederation. We've probably only had these programs in place for it, so it's half. It's probably half as long as the pension's been in place for. When did the pension come around? Probably after the war, right?
No, I think it was 70. It was only like 71, I think.
So it's almost the whole pension history of the pension thing. So this is mainly for the people that are saying that, you know, Alberta is crazy to be wanting to pull out of this thing. So Albertans' net contribution, this is from the Fraser report, the Fraser Institute. Albertans' net contribution to the Canada Pension Plan, meaning the amount Albertans paid into the program over and above what retirees in Alberta received in payments, was more than 6 times as much as any other province, at $53.6 billion from 81 to 2022. Finds a new report published today by the Fraser Institute.
66, it started 1966.
So let's years longer than.
Let's say it's going to be 1.2, I think, 1.2 billion a year. So even if you just took that number and divided it by 2 million, what's that? Do you have
It'd be another 15 years. So
no, per person per year.
Oh, so you want to divide it by
1.2 billion divided by 1.2 billion divided by
4.5 million would be a super conservative, because that's more than our population is now. I think we're 4.3.
Okay, so it's gonna be like $500 a person or something like that.
But you can't do everyone. It's got to be a pensioner.
Okay, so let's do 2 million. Let's do 2 million. Let's just do 1 million. Let's do 1 million.
Okay.
So it's 1 billion over a million. So it's $1,000 per pensioner per year.
I think they'll give us those numbers down. Let's see. Albertan workers have been helping to fund the retirement of Canadians from coast to coast for decades. And Canadians ought to know that without Alberta, the CPP would look much different, said Tegan Hill, Director of Alberta Policy at the Fraser Institute, and co-author of Understanding Alberta's Role in National Programs, including the Canadian Pension Plan. I should go through that. That'd be good for a future episode. From 81 to 22, Alberta workers contributed 14.4% on average of the total CPP premiums paid. Canada's compulsory government-operated retirement pension plan, while retirees in the province received only 10% of the payments. Alberta's net contribution over that period was $53.6 billion. Crucially, only residents in 2 provinces, Alberta and British Columbia, paid more into the CPP than retirees in those provinces received in benefits. And Alberta's contribution was 6 times greater than BC's. And I think BC's population's got to be, 30 or 40% more than ours? In that ballpark? You're muted, so I don't know what you said. The reason Albertans have paid such an outsized contribution to federal and national programs, including CPP, in recent years, is because of the province's relatively high rates of employment, higher average incomes, and younger population. So we're just being milked out here. I mean, this is what Albertans really need to realize. As such, if Alberta withdrew from the CPP, Alberta workers could expect to receive the same retirement benefits, but at a lower cost, i.e. lower payroll tax than other Canadians. And it's worth mentioning that Quebec already does this, so it's not unheard of. Quebec already has their own. I don't know about other provinces, but I know Quebec does for sure. While the payroll tax would likely have to increase for the rest of the country, excluding Quebec because of that reason, to maintain the same benefits. Given current demographic projections, immigration patterns, and Alberta's long history of leading the provinces in economic growth, another reason to leave, Alberta workers would likely continue to pay more into than Alberta retirees got back. The Fraser Institute is an independent Canadian public policy research and educational organization with offices in Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, Montreal, and Halifax, and ties to a global network of 80 think tanks in 87 countries. So I think that's all.
Far right Canadian think tank.
Did it say that? Or that's just what the... Oh, come on. The mouse doesn't work quite the same as the...
Yeah, that was good though. That's awesome. Yeah, that's good.
Or
Fascinating.
is this just that same plan? So here it is sort of graphically for the people watching. Here's our... So we're low. BC's in the negative 9 billion. Alberta's in the negative 53.6 billion. Every other province on here is in the green. Nova Scotia plus 12, New Brunswick plus 4.5, Newfoundland 3.5. So, let's see what's on this info. Oh, that's just that one. Okay, so that's that.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, great.